Welcome to the 70s, a time when playgrounds weren't just a place to play, they were a true test of survival. There were no soft landings, and the towering jungle gyms seemed to defy the very laws of gravity. We raced down scorching metal slides, climbed to dizzying heights, and somehow managed to make it home in one piece. Well, mostly. So how did these dangerous yet thrilling playgrounds become the stuff of legend? And what did we lose when we traded them for safer but far less exciting designs? Let's find out. In the 1970s, metal slides offered kids an unmatched thrill, speed, adrenaline, and the sheer joy of a heart-pounding descent. Their gleaming surface beckoned with the promise of an exhilarating ride. But once the midday sun took its place in the sky, that same attraction turned into a fiery trap. Heated to scorching temperatures, the metal could leave more than just lasting memories. It could leave painful burns. Anyone daring to slide down in shorts risked a baptism by fire, and kids quickly learned the golden rule of survival. Either find something to sit on, or suffer the consequences. Over time, the blistering metal was replaced with plastic alternatives, cooler, safer, but not without their own surprises. A new foe lurked at the end of the ride, a static shock that could strike without warning, delivering an unexpected jolt. Playgrounds of the 70s became a testing ground for resilience, first through fire, then through electricity. Yet, despite the risks, kids kept coming back, because every ride down promised a moment of pure joy and just a little test of toughness. Jungle gyms were built with one thing in mind: adventure. Safety nets? Non-existent. These towering structures dared kids to climb higher and higher, with little thought given to the unforgiving ground below. Falling was just part of the experience. There were no padded surfaces to soften the blow, just dirt, grass, or, if you were really unlucky, solid concrete. Looking back at old photos, it's no surprise that broken arms and sprained ankles were almost a rite of passage. Gravity was as merciless then as it is today, but that didn't stop the playgrounds of the 70s from flaunting high platforms without any guardrails. One awkward step, and the child would be sent hurtling downward toward the inevitable collision with the ground. The result? Abrasions, bruises, and sometimes a trip to the emergency room. In those days, however, such falls did not cause panic. They were seen as part of growing up, a lesson taught by life itself. Yes, the risk was great, but it also made the games more exciting. Kids climbed higher, jumped farther, and even after a bad landing, they shook it off and climbed back up. Because falling wasn't scary. The main thing was to know how to get up. Teeter-totters were not just a favorite playground activity. It was a real test of trust. The principle was simple. The weight of two children created a balance, turning an ordinary swing into an exciting physics lesson. But as soon as one participant suddenly jumped off, the fun turned to disaster. The one who stayed on top instantly flew down, hitting the ground painfully. Bruises, and sometimes tears were inevitable. But worst of all was the betrayal of a friend who decided to leave the game without warning. Such swings taught not only the laws of gravity, but also the importance of being a trustworthy partner. Because trust, once broken on the playground, may not be repaired even outside the playground. The old merry-go-rounds on playgrounds were both thrilling and terrifying. As soon as a group of kids leaned into the bars, the platform would turn into a real centrifuge, spinning its passengers at dizzying speeds. You had to hold on for dear life, because those who loosened their grip would be sent flying like human projectiles, soaring off with laughter or tears. Those who managed to stay on often stumbled off, dizzy and battling nausea. And if an older brother or the neighborhood troublemaker took charge, You could brace yourself for the inevitable, a fall, some bruises, and, most likely, a lifelong grudge. For young thrill seekers, spiral slides were the ultimate adventure. Tight turns, dizzying acceleration, and the exhilarating sensation of flight. But along with the excitement came a series of challenges. Made entirely of metal, these slides turned into scorching ovens under the summer sun. One careless descent in shorts, and instead of fun, you'd be left with a searing burn as a painful souvenir. Their narrow, twisting design often defied the laws of physics. Kids lost control, slammed into the sides, or worse, got stuck halfway down. What started as an adrenaline rush often ended with bruises, friction burns, or an unexpected tumble at the bottom. Yet, despite it all, the line for the slide never seemed to get any shorter. Because pain fades, but the craving for speed never does. Playgrounds in the 70s had no soft surfaces or protective barriers. Open metal structures, steep ladders, and minimal precautions, perfect conditions for fun, yet risky games. Miss a step on the swings? Bare metal didn't forgive mistakes. One wrong move and you'd earn a bruise to remember. Bumping into a bar? Just another day. But complaining was pointless. Adults were more likely to remind you about personal responsibility than offer sympathy. Ladders led to towering platforms with a view of the entire neighborhood, but falling from them was no joke. One wrong step, a moment of hesitation, and you were plummeting. But fear never stopped young daredevils. Every new challenge was a chance to impress their friends. Yes, cuts, bruises, and even broken bones were part of childhood, but no one complained. Playgrounds in the 70s toughened you up and taught you to learn from your mistakes. It was a time when fun went hand in hand with risk and safety. Well, it wasn't exactly a priority. Nowadays, safety comes first, but back then, taking risks was part of the fun. The best way to learn was to try, fall, and get back up again. What do you think? Are modern playgrounds too safe? Or is it better when scraped knees stay a thing of the past? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories about a past that will never return. Hit the notification bell. There's plenty more nostalgia to come.